What's good? Brian Tong here, and we're expecting the official announcement for Apple's iPhone 12. So you knew that this was coming. This is everything that we know about the iPhone 12 lineup for 2020, and this is really the definitive breakdown with everything that has been rumored and reported. A majority of these details come from John Prosser, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, plus you got Digitime's Ming-Chi Kuo and a few others that really deserve the credit for getting this all out there. So let's just get right into it, and it feels like we know so much about it, but we've got some certified fresh goodies in here as well for you. So let's start off with the iPhone lineup. We're expecting 4 iPhones in 3 different sizes. They'll all have Apple's new A14 Bionic chip. They'll all have OLED displays, and they'll all have 5G connectivity. The biggest change really for 2020 is that there will be an all-new design that's really a callback to that metal frame iPhone 4 style that will align with the current iPad Pro's modern design language. That's really, to me, one of the most iconic designs from just Apple's entire history of the iPhone, and I'm 100% bringing it back because, you know, you have this cohesive look with the iPad Pro, now with the iPhone. Now, these new iPhone 12s, bottom line, they're going to look classy. But it starts with the 5.4-inch iPhone 12 mini. This is what it could be like. It's mini. That's actually the name that they're going with, according to multiple reports. It's expected to bring a dual lens camera and storage capacities of 64, 128, and 256 gigs of storage. And I have said this several times, 5.4 inches is not mini. Like, we're going to have to really rethink how big it has to be to call it a mini. The iPhone, that is. Now, next will be the 6.1-inch iPhone 12. This is what it looks like. It has the dual lens camera as well, side by side with roughly this 5.4. These are mock-ups. And it'll also come with 64, 128, and 256 gigs as well. Now, these two models are expected to have aluminum bodies. You'll get the standard 4 gigs of RAM, and they'll release before the higher-end Pro line with the Apple event potentially happening on October the 13th. Now, iPhone 12 pre-orders are expected on October the 16th, with the first shipments arriving to customers the following week on October the 23rd, which should be these two models. Now, next up, we've got the iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max. Now, the difference here with the Pro line is that it will reportedly include a stainless steel body, 6 gigs of RAM, and a similar triple lens system from the iPhone 11 Pro line with that additional Lidar sensor that we saw in the current iPad Pro. Now, Lidar, this is used to determine the distance of objects by measuring how long it takes for light to reach an object and then reflect it back. This just opens up significantly better depth perception and spatial mapping for augmented reality, and then even new photo and video features. There will be a 6.1-inch iPhone 12 Pro. Now, this will be the size, but it's going to have the triple lens in it, obviously. But then you're also talking about the big kahuna, a 6.7-inch iPhone 12 Pro Max. This is a beast. And, you know, for the first time ever, the top-tier iPhones on this Pro side will start with 128 gigs of storage, and then they'll offer options of 256 and 512. And for all you people who want 1 terabyte of internal storage, we're going to squash those dreams right now because it is not happening. But the biggest question that the tech world cares about, will the new iPhone lineup finally bring 120 hertz refresh rate for that buttery smooth screen that other competitors have had and even their own iPad Pro has had for years? Well, the answer is a big nope, because a recent report from display analyst Ross Young says that it's the 2021 iPhone 13s that are now expected to get it, and then all you iPhone SE fans don't expect an update for that until 2022. John Prosser told me directly, and you heard it here, 120 hertz is not happening on the iPhone 12 lineup. There were reports that 120 hertz wasn't coming to the entry-level iPhone 12s, and maybe, you know, there was a chance it could make it to the 12 Pro Max. Not going to happen. Nada. So all you Apple fanboys and fangirls will just painfully have to wait for 2021 and the iPhone lucky number 13 next year. And I can literally hear you screaming right now. But come on. Knowing Apple, look, this is going to be the best implementation of 120 hertz refresh rate that we have ever seen. Of course, I'm messing with you, but this really matters to all of us who love tech and just follow with this rabid passion. For the rest of the world, the general consumer doesn't care at all. They won't even notice. And Apple, we know that they're still going to sell a ton of new iPhones, especially because of this new redesign. But what is Apple going to leave out? Well, you know it, the power adapter and the wired ear pods. Everything we've seen and heard indicates that they won't come in the box, so don't expect to be surprised when they are not included. Now, Apple will tell us, right, it's to help the environment, we reduce our e-waste, and that's true, that's part of the story, But, you know, I know we all have enough power adapters laying around, and I have enough ear pods as well. That honestly doesn't bother me as much. But if they don't include these, then I think that it would be just a great gesture for Apple to maybe slightly lower the price for the iPhone, because these two accessories combined are $48, at least retail price. But then, you know, when I say Apple and lower price out loud in the same sentence, then I realize it's never going to happen. Also, this iPhone is still expected to have a Lightning connector on it, so all the talk about USB-C on the bottom isn't happening in 2020 either. Instead, maybe that $48 goes towards the leaked images of a fabric braided Lightning to USB-C cable that won't tangle nearly as much. We've seen this on like the iMac Pro, the Pro Display XDR, but we still don't know if these actual cables in this style will be coming to the iPhone 12s, or maybe they're just going to include it in the Pro line because they're kind of fancy. Now, other leaked images depicted a rear component for the alleged iPhone 12 with the circular array of 36 magnets intended for the backside. Now, this is likely related to wireless charging or even maybe alignment purposes if Apple ends up finally releasing a wireless charger of their own at some point in time. All right, now the new iPhone 12 lineup base storage capacity pricing will reportedly look like this: $649 for the iPhone 12 mini, $749 for the iPhone 12, $999 for the iPhone 12 Pro, and then $1,099 for the iPhone 12 Pro Max. The new color this year, it was leaked really early on. It's expected to be blue, and you know, Apple kind of showed their cards. You can be sure it's going to match that new blue aluminum color or be pretty close to it from the new Apple Watch Series 6. There's also been a variety of rumored colors for the non-Pro iPhone 12s, but the only sure bet appears to be at least that deep navy blue color. I think it's a hit. It's not my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people are digging it. There will be no form of Touch ID in the screen. Apple's still going to go with Face ID, and you know what that means? It will feature one of the things that I just love the most about the new iPhone design: that absolutely horrible notch. Ugh. Now, rumors have said it will implement a smaller notch with the layout that has some of the sensors closer together, but we'll see what it ends up looking like because it is still going to be there. So we just threw out everything at you. You now know really everything about the iPhone 12. So what do you think about this new iPhone 12 lineup in 2020? I want to know. Put in the comments because it's a safe space. And this is really your time to tell me how excited you are, or maybe you just want to use this as a moment of therapy. And I always know there's going to be the meh, Android's done it already. I think there's always at least like 10 of you out there. And if you use bad words, I won't be able to see them because YouTube blocks them. Also, my mama reads them too. So be a good Apple. Yeah! Now, we all have known about the iPhone 12 lineup for so long, and yes, none of this is official, but this is one of the most comprehensive breakdowns that we've seen for an iPhone before its announcement in a long, long time. And we know that coronavirus clearly had an impact on the arrival of this phone, but if we just take a step back and kind of look at this overall, the biggest changes in the iPhone 12 really is the design, but then how much will we really feel the new A14 processor? Will they really leverage and take full advantage of it? Augmented reality still hasn't taken off yet. I only use AR when like a new Apple product is about to release on the website, and then I pretend that I have it with that preview. 5G connectivity is nice, but most of us still can't take advantage of anything close to optimal 5G speeds. This just isn't a compelling iPhone upgrade as it stands right now. And I do have to recall that the 11 Pro surprised the heck out of me with its battery life and cameras, and it really made it one of the best iPhones we've seen in a long time, but I just don't know what they can do to surprise me with the 12. Last year, I did a video with the topic, why you should wait for the 2020 iPhone, and that's when we thought the new iPhone was going to be so much more than this, but if this is really it, it's feeling pretty underwhelming. Plus, I'm still not on board with calling a 5.4-inch phone a mini. Like, do I just need to get over this? Because the iPhone 8 Plus from 2017 had a 5.5-inch display, so now we're pretty much considering that mini? I think the world is changing right before my eyes. Oh yeah, it is a-changing. All right, that's going to do it for this video. If you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get all my videos when they drop with a nice vibration in your pants. If you want to go even deeper with Apple, check out my Apple Bits XL audio podcast where we just cover the latest stories in depth and bring on special guests. And all my work is independent. I would absolutely love your support at patreon.com/BrianTong, where you get benefits at different levels, early access to content, and an entirely ad-free version of the podcast and more. Thanks so much for watching, and look, I mean, I have it right here. This is really the lineup, 5.4, 6.1, 6.7. This is what it's going to look like. And, you know, we know so much already. It's kind of hard to get excited for the iPhone 12. Whenever there's an event, I'm always hyped up, but maybe I'm going to go with cautiously optimistic with the hopes that they can still surprise us with something. We'll see what happens, all right? Take care, everybody. Be safe, and we will see you next time. Peace and love.